From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you would have invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?
I want to ask a completely different question for you, Tom, because he's our overall ETF maven here. We have seen a spate of new Bitcoin ETF offerings recently, including from BlackRock. Even though everybody knows the SEC and Gary Gensler is completely hostile to the idea, and everybody said, well, they're going to say no to a Bitcoin ETF, just like they said no to everybody else. But I'm wondering why now? What does BlackRock think they're going to get out of this effort?
You can't get away from your favorite subject here, can you?
People ask me about it, and I don't have an easy answer for it. I always think I'm missing something here.
I think you're right. I think your sniffer
usually
I'm missing
something?
No, I think you're onto something. I think your sniffer is always really pretty good, Bob. If BlackRock all of a sudden has filed for a Bitcoin ETF that's not futures-based, it's spot Bitcoin,
right.
Okay? And Gensler said, no way, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, they're bringing together some pretty good partners from a custody standpoint. They've got Bank of New York Mellon. They've got Coinbase.
Right.
They've got an agreement, a surveillance agreement with NASDAQ to help with the security aspect of it. So they're trying to show the SEC that they're putting all the safety provisions in place to give them the confidence, to give them that acceptance of their application. I think the big thing we know is Gensler said, we're not going to do anything there unless we have the exchanges regulated, and Coinbase is not regulated.
But that's my question. Do you think this is going to change their mind? I can't without the clear regulatory authority, and they're not getting a bill through Congress. So now he's just resorted to essentially suing everybody. He's trying to regulate essentially by filing complaints.
Yeah.
I don't see how this changes.
If anybody can get it done, would you bet against BlackRock?
No.
You know, they're the behemoth, right? They're the.
That's why I'm thinking. I still don't quite get.
Yeah.
How are they going to change his mind?
I mean, if they can partner with Coinbase and say, look, you agree to get regulated, what would that do to your business? Imagine institutional investments, just 1% allocation to Coinbase, and what that would mean. We're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people like you that are saying, is this finally the time? Is it going to happen?
We're going to follow this very carefully, folks, because, again, they're not going to waste their time.
Yeah.
Trust me, BlackRock isn't, if they don't think they have some chance of doing something here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and type your name in the chat box where you're listening in from. I am the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy, ILCA for short. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions for entertainment, training, and educational purposes only. And it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to go into. All right, so this is Saturday. It's been a whole week since we did our last public. Oh, I think I did one for Labor Day. I think I did our public crypto talk last Monday. But it's been about a week since our last crypto talk, so we will make sure we are looking at the charts based on week-to-week basis. I hope you guys had a good, productive week. We are getting close to halfway through September already. Time is flying by fast, and for me, this is the end of the year. End of the year for me is September 31st. For me, because I have the last 3 months of the year, I'm already in 2024. October 1st is New Year for me. And the reason why I do that is so that I don't wait till January 1st to do my New Year's resolutions and kick things off for a brand new year. I like to sprint into the new year, not get started on the starting blocks in the on day one. So for me, October 1st is the new year. So I want to close out this month very, very strong. And I'm excited about the things that's happening and what's going on. And for those of you who are on the New Gen project and you were having panic attacks the last couple of days, the website is back up. Your tokens are still in your wallets. Nothing has changed there for the time being. That's not a guarantee that it will stay that way. I have no idea. But in the meantime, we move on to the other things we've got going on. So let's go ahead and recognize some of you guys here. I see we have, all right, Miss Marnita Casa from Colorado, Facebook user from South Carolina, Martha Cameron from Mexico, Facebook user, St. Petersburg, Florida. I think that's Jacqueline. Jacqueline, you just shot me over a good article. If I've got time, I'm going to pull that up. JP Morgan launches crypto-based deposit token for faster international payments, and Ripple will be the backbone of this trillion-dollar market. All right, if I got time, I'll pull that one up as well. Neil Brooks, good morning. I see you, Faye Harris. Nathan from Vegas, good morning. Facebook user from Southern Illinois, Yashika from Georgia, Daryl Weston from Texas. Facebook user, good morning. Tammy Laney, good morning. DJ from Colorado, good morning. Crazy Carla from St. Louis, Missouri, good morning, good morning. Janelle Apley from Colorado. Mr. Albert, good morning. Jamal from Pasadena. Hey, get that barbecue pit out this weekend. It's going to be hot. I'm going swimming today after the game. George Lack, good morning. Sonia Elaine Bars from Plantation, Florida. Stephen Parker in Rijeka, Croatia. I know I said Croatia right. I don't think I said Rijeka, if I'm saying that the proper way. Good morning, good morning. I see Facebook user from the ATL. I see my man Richmond. Good morning. Facebook user from Hanford, California. Good morning, good morning. Wow, Bill. I like that. Wild Bill from St. Charles, good morning. Ann Perez from Rochester, New York. Good morning, Ann. All right, everybody. Wanted to make sure I recognize you guys. Let's jump on into some crypto information. We're on a modified time today, so I have a hard stop at the top of the hour because I want to watch the Colorado game. I want to see Coach Prime in action. Really, I want to see his son. The last week, he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. So I want to see how his son plays. So let's share screen. Window. Yes, that's right. I'm using StreamYard. All right. If you guys cannot see my screen or hear me properly, just type it in the chat box and let me know. Okay, let's refresh this. Oh wow, this is rare. We've got a flat percent. Nothing's happened. All right, this is a good teachable moment. All right, a week or 2 weeks ago, I did a special in our inner circle about how to read the charts. Remember what I told you guys? Just by looking at this top line, you're going to be able to understand what's going on with the rest of the book. Now, one thing, we're under 10,000 total coins. Do you notice that? I still say that when the crypto market crashes, we'll be down to about 500 coins recognized and about 50 exchanges worldwide. Also, I'm on a search as well for those of you that are crypto traders. What exchanges are you using to do your trading? Send me a message. You can type it here or even a private message. I'm curious to see what new users. In fact, I need to go check out the iCoin Pro community and see what they're doing, especially with all the crackdowns in the United States and whatnot. What safe havens are people running to? But we've got a 0%. Now, this means no new money came into the space and no money left the space. But that doesn't mean the entire market's flatlined. Now we're going to see trading that happens inside of the crypto space. Bitcoin dominance is at 46.5%, Ethereum 18.1%. And we're going to look at really the past, well, I got to look at the past 24 hours and also the past week. So I see Bitcoin 25,800. It went up slightly 0.2% in the last 24 hours. It is almost flatlined from a week ago. So even though there was a spike a few days ago, it's gone back down to where we began a week ago. Same thing with Ethereum. Slightly up 0.4% 24 hours, but it's down 0.1% on the week. So see that pendulum swing between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Tether's flatline across the board. BNB is barely up a tick, 0.5%. Ripple's up 0.6%. So this is inner crypto trading. Most of it is using stable coins back into the altcoins. Dogecoin, though, did go up 1.2%. Any big outlier here? Stellar. That's an outlier. Stellar went up 4.7%, but it's up 15.7% on the week. While everybody else, all the top coins are pretty much flatline. Tron did go up 2.6%, but Stellar went up 15.7%. Now I'm looking for an outlier in the opposite direction. We got Shiba Inu down 3.4%. Bitcoin Cash down 3.1%. Leo down 2.1%. Chainlink up 4.1%. Chronos is up 4.4%. Oh, Mantle. Oh, well, that's a crash. Look at that from the week, down 8.3%. All right, let's go best performers over the last 24 hours. I'm sorry. This one, last 24 hours. Radix went up 7.9, 18.8 on the week. Stellar 4.7, 15.7% on the week. Qcoin up 6.7 on the week. Gala took a hit. There's some internal fighting going on between Wright and the other co-founders, and $100-something million on the table. For those of you wondering, well, how come they could afford not to launch green and do anything? Because these clowns made $100 million. They could take their time. Near Protocol, Filecoin, IOTA went up 8.4 on the week. All right, so we got a pretty flat market. Now, there was a lot of news. I got to give one, our prayers Well, people in Morocco that suffered that 6.8 earthquake last night. Yesterday or last 2 days ago, is that they weren't used to that, and there's going to be a lot of fatalities, unfortunately, with that one. Just Donald Trump news and the indictments. Nothing else major. I know G20 is going on in India. The BRICS nations already happened. Okay. So, let's get into some of the news. Founder of crypto exchange that went bust gets 11,000-year prison term in fraud case. This guy, didn't he have some brothers or cousins? 11,000-year prison term. What the hell? Farouk Fatih Ozer, who ran crypto exchange Thodex until it imploded in 2021, was sentenced to 11,196 years in prison by a Turkish court for crimes including fraud. Delivering its verdict late Thursday, the court in Istanbul sentenced Ozer and his two siblings to similar length jail terms, finding them guilty of aggravated fraud, leading a criminal organization, and money laundering. Ozer, a high school dropout who founded Thodex in 2017 and fled to Albania after Thodex went bust, appeared unrepentant at his final hearing. I am smart enough to lead any institution on earth. State-run Anadolu agency cited Ozer as saying in court, that is evident in this company I established at the age of 22. I am smart enough to lead any institution on earth. Well, damn. I mean, that's confidence right there. I wouldn't have acted so amateurishly if this were a criminal organization. The total amount of losses investors suffered when Thodex collapsed remains unclear. The prosecutor's indictment estimates them at $13 million, but Turkish media have reported figures as high as $2 billion. It was a $2 billion exchange. A study by Chainalysis puts the value of crypto loss at Thodex at $2.6 billion. Ozer was extradited to Turkey from Albania earlier this year, following a lengthy legal process. So he tried to run. Yeah, with $2.6 billion. I would think so. But he got caught. All right. Tokenization Advocacy Group wants to bring the next $1 trillion or trillion of assets to blockchain. Founding members such as Coinbase, Circle, and Aave companies, aim to foster the use of blockchain technology for assets. Aave. How are they doing right now? $56, up 0.5%. That's right. 14 million of circulation, 16 million total supply. I did have Aave and I sold it on my crypto.com wallet. I might want to look at this one again. All-time low was $26. All-time high was $661. And it's $56 right now. Dang, this is going to go against my protocol because I was getting rid of all of these tokens, but I might be able to make a buck off of this. Let me put that down to buy Aave back, and the price right now is at 56.30. So if I dream mode this, let me do a little bit more. If I had $10,000 at this price, I would have 177 tokens. It goes back to its all-time high, 661, which it will. I flipped 10K into $117,000 after the next halving. Okay. That's something to hold on to. Especially they're mentioning it here. Coinbase and Circle. Crypto industry heavyweights want to encourage more groups to bring traditional financial assets on a blockchain with a new advocacy group for tokenization unveiled on Wednesday. I like that. Well, that judge is big on reincarnation. The Tokenized Asset Coalition aims to bring the next trillion-dollar assets on chain through education, advocacy, and fostering adoption of public blockchains, asset tokenization, and institutional decentralized finance in the broader financial space, a press release said. The group's founding members are crypto exchange Coinbase, stablecoin issuer Circle, Layer 2 network Base, DeFi lending platforms Aave companies, Centrifuge, Credix, Goldfinch, and real-world asset data platform RWA.XYZ. The new group comes as asset tokenization has become a trend within the crypto space. The term stands for transforming old-school financial assets such as bonds, private credit, or real estate, often referred to as real-world assets, into tokens on a blockchain. Tokenized assets have the potential to disrupt the current financial infrastructure to create a more efficient system. Bank of America said this. Let me read that again. Now, you guys have heard the video I played last week. I may play it again at the end, of Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock. And all he kept talking about was tokenization of assets, tokenization of stocks and bonds. Now that's BlackRock, the largest investment firm on the planet. Now we have Bank of America, who already had 70 patents on blockchain technology, says tokenized assets have the potential to disrupt the current financial infrastructure and create a more efficient system. That is not something to be glossed over. I need to look into this a little bit more. When you've got a bank saying something, and this is just June 29th. How did I miss this article? Let me speed read this. Okay, I'm going to read this real quick. Tokenization is just one application of blockchain technology, just one, but it's the one that could transform financial and non-financial infrastructure and financial markets over the next 5 to 15 years. Wait, why do I keep that? See, there's another bank, and that bank is JP Morgan. And what did JP Morgan say? JP Morgan created Onyx to be in the metaverse. And JP Morgan said that digital assets will be worth more money than real world assets, more valuable. And that in the next 5 to 15 years, this will be a $5 to $13 trillion industry. So we got two banks saying the same thing. We've got Larry Fink, BlackRock, saying the same thing. You think we should be paying attention? We are on the verge of an infrastructure revolution that may reshape how value is transferred, settled, and stored across every industry. I've been saying this for years, so much so that some of you guys have memorized it and saying it along when I say it, that in 2017, one of the things that I learned that changed my life is that blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, or trust it or not. Your opinion of it is irrelevant. And fast forward 6-7 years, and we've got Bank of America saying the same doggone thing. And that was 7 years ago. So you're still at the right spot. We are on the verge of an infrastructure evolution that may reshape how value is transferred, settled, and stored across every industry, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, or trust it or not. Tokenization is a process by which real-world assets are converted into blockchain-based tokens. The tokenization of traditional assets and issuance of assets in tokenized form have the potential to increase efficiencies and reduce costs across an asset's life cycle, improve the efficient allocation of capital, optimize global supply chains, catalyze a new generation of software as a service companies, and ultimately drive mainstream adoption. I am not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I got to figure it out. I got to figure out how I can turn this up a notch. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that we're sitting in right now. And as much as I'm doing, I'm not doing enough. This is crazy. Bank of America notes that disruptive technology like radio, television, and email took 30 years to reach mainstream adoption. It expects a much shorter lag for digital assets. So we put that timetable. If they're just now getting on it, they're starting the clock right now. So maybe the next 10 years, they already did. Bank of America said the next 5 to 15 years. So that cuts it in half. In half. And here's another thing too. Why did those take a good 30 years for that to happen? Well, one, because it took another generation to pass on and a new generation to reach maturity. So let's say you were born the year radio was invented. By the time you're 30 years old, that's all you know. So it's common for you. It's everybody's using it because that's where the population is. I believe that with this crypto, mass adoption will happen while the baby boomers are still here. And the baby boomer generation will be the only generation in human history that has witnessed the most amount of radical transformation of human society in one lifetime. Because the baby boomers were born in what? The 40s and 50s? The children of the greatest generation, the World War II generation. So the 40s and 50s born baby boomers, and they live into the 30s, 2030s or so, 80, 90 years, would have witnessed, they were born before man walked on the moon. They were here around the space age race. They survived the 50s, the 60s, civil rights, and the assassination of Kennedy and Dr. King and so many others. The 70s with the Vietnam War and the Iran and Jimmy Carter and all of that. They were around when the dollar was still on the gold standard. It was removed in 1971 before major inflation. They were there through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. So computer, cable TV, color TV. They were born before there was color TV. Then color TV, television, color TV, cable, computers, then the internet, then cell phones, now Web3. That generation, and for them to have seen and done so much, that is amazing. They're the oldest generation. Well, we still can hear recordings from our great-grandparents' generation. That's right. You had bunny ears and you was a remote. Well, I'm not a baby boomer, but my older cousins used me as the remote. And I was the bunny ear. Brandon, go up there and move the antenna. Move it. Wait. There it is. Hold it. Don't let go. Don't let go. Stay right there. Really? Really? I was the remote. I grew up, and this was the coolest thing ever. I love this thing. I jacked it from my dad's storage. RCA TV. Guys, remember that? With the on the back, so we don't lose. How in the world are you gonna lose something this big in the couch? I'm keeping that one to show my grandkids and great grandkids that live long enough to see them. Anyways, I say the next 5 to 10 years. Okay. Bank of America notes that disruptive technology like radio, television, and email took 30 years to reach mainstream adoption. It expects a much shorter lag for digital assets. The bank said the implementation of blockchain technology will accelerate among financial institutions and corporates as the opportunity cost of uncaptured efficiencies increases. Man, I wish I was my son's age, knowing what I know now and having the experiences I did before there was the internet, yet be in my 20s. Oh man. Can you imagine what life is going to be like for them 40 years from now? I mean, Jared Kushner already said, you guys know who Jared Kushner was. Jared Kushner said he believes that he is either the last generation to die or the first generation to live forever. And Jared Kushner is my generation. He looks like he's 25. The bank said the implementation of blockchain technology will accelerate among financial institutions and corporates as the opportunity cost of uncaptured efficiencies increases. Distributed ledger technology and tokenization traditional assets aren't crypto. Oh, isn't that interesting? Distributed ledger technology, which is the blockchain, and tokenized traditional assets, which is anything, aren't crypto. And that's technically true. Blockchains record ownership of the 26,000 plus tokens that exist within the digital asset ecosystem. Screen is blurred. Is it blurred for the rest of you guys? Jamal says it's blurred. But we expect 99% of those in existence today to essentially disappear. I agree with that. You see what he's saying here? They expect 99% of the 26,000 tokens that exist right now to disappear. I said the same thing. This number right up here, 9,955 that CoinGecko's tracking. There's a whole lot more than that out there. It's going to go down to about 500. It's my opinion, but somebody else is saying the same thing. Bank of America. Meme coins like Shiba Inu and Pepe Coin receive a huge amount of attention, despite having no utility or intrinsic value. But other tokens are different, the note said. Public permissionless blockchains, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some third-generation blockchains, are decentralized and require tokens to reward participants for processing transactions on the network. All right, so that's Bank of America. This is something I want to save. Back to this original one. So tokenized assets have the potential to disrupt the current financial infrastructure and create a more efficient system. The market for tokenized assets could mushroom to $16 trillion by 2030. My God, according to a Boston Consulting Group report. See, this is why. I mean, I believe in multiple streams of income and you do everything else, but anything else that you're doing out there is to make money today. Getting involved in this and getting yourself positioned is so that you can have wealth for generations, even if you don't see the money today. But I am looking long term, which is why I've got the blinders on to everything else. People are killing me with all the opportunities out there. Just because I say no to an opportunity doesn't mean I think the opportunity is bad, or that the opportunity is a scam, or the opportunity is not going to work. That's not the case. It's just where my head and my focus is right now. Everything else is a distraction. I'm trying to be a billionaire. While I can make good money, 6 figures with Live Good's not going to make me a billionaire. Now, you can do both. I can't. My mind doesn't work that way, especially if my mind is to be, I have to recruit. If I'm going to be recruiting and sharing anything, it's going to be in this. That is not a knock on Live Good at all. Live Good is making a killing. They're changing the game in health and wellness. If anybody were to ask me, what health and wellness company should I be a part of? I'm going to point you to Live Good. They're doing something right now. I don't know how long that will last, but they're doing something right. But for me, this is it right here. Trillions, 16 trillion by 2030. The Tokenized Asset Coalition believes that public crypto rails offer superior efficiency, cost savings, and transparency compared to legal systems, the press release said. By fostering collaboration, education, and the development of on-chain infrastructure, the coalition aims to address the inefficiencies, lack of transparency, and fragmentation inherent in traditional financial systems. Damn. I'm going to save this one too. I need to read this one again. I'll come back to that. Former Goldman Sachs Exec Foresees a staggering $1 quadrillion future for cryptocurrency. This is on another level. There's levels to this. Let me hit you back, Peter. I'm right in the middle of crypto talk.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry.
No problem. There's levels to this shit, ladies. Ooh, there's levels to this. You could be in $1 million industry. You can be in $1 billion industry. You can be in $1 trillion industry. Or you can position yourself with a $1 quadrillion future. I'm not saying this. Goldman Sachs is saying this. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal has recently revealed he believes the cryptocurrency space could expand to manage an eye-popping $1 quadrillion. Why do you think Larry Fink is all over this? He manages 10 trillion. I played the video at the beginning where the financial experts are perplexed. They don't understand, why is Larry Fink paying attention to crypto? Why is he trying to bring a Bitcoin ETF? And then at the end they say, hey, they're not going to do something unless they vetted it, unless if they don't see a win here. If they're already a $10 trillion investment fund, whatever they're going to move into is going to be bigger than what they're currently doing right now. And I'm going to play a video at the end that's going to show what I want you to watch. Not so much what Larry Fink is saying, but read his body language. The dude is buzzing on 5,000. He can't sit still. He talks with his hands. He's so excited. He sees something. He knows what's coming. And Raoul Powell's seeing it. 1 quadrillion. Larry thinks like able just to triple the size of our portfolio. And we went from a $10 trillion to $30 trillion investment fund. Yeah, I mean, if I could put what I know or believe in all of your heads, you all wouldn't be able to sleep. I even think I'm playing with this. I'm not taking this serious enough. I'm getting frustrated by it. In a recent interview on Crypto Banter, Powell highlighted the potential ramifications of BlackRock's recent push for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, which was followed by several financial behemoths with over $27 trillion in assets under management moving into crypto. Crypto right now is only 1 trillion. At its height, it got to almost 3.2 trillion. That's it. That's nothing. Nothing on the global scale. 27 trillion assets under management moving into crypto. Okay, there's a link to this. Let me turn my frustration into excitement. Financial behemoths with $27 trillion in assets under management moving on crypto, says somebody else now. CoinShares CSO. Major financial powerhouses that collectively manage an astounding 27 trillion in assets are making inroads into the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency after a race to list the first spot. If all these billionaires are running around talking about crypto, why the hell am I trying to push a health and wellness product? Again, it's not a knock on it. There's just levels to this. Because I'm thinking 20 years from now, when my grandchildren, because everything we do right now is being recorded, and they're looking at history, and they're looking at the greatest financial economic shift in wealth in history, and what was grandpa talking about back then? They'd be like, grandpa was on some bullshit back then. 27 trillion in assets. As noted by CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer Meltem Demirors, at least 8 financial behemoths, 8, which include BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, BNY Mellon, Invesco, and Bank of America are actively working to provide access to Bitcoin and more. There's so much more I want to say. I'm holding myself back. I'm trying to be respectful. Last week's BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF filing was big news, but it's not the only story. Many of the largest financial institutions in the U.S. are actively working to provide access to Bitcoin and more. And I'm only feeling this way because I actually felt disrespected by individuals who don't seem to take no for an answer and want to keep pestering me about opportunities. When I made more money in one day than they made in the last 6 months in their business. Let's see here. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, took a pioneering leap on June 16th with a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund application, seemingly igniting a domino effect as peers rushed to file similar applications. The market responded with a flurry of activity that saw the price of the flagship crypto Bitcoin hit a new high for the year above the $31,000 mark before enduring a slightly correction to now trade at $30,600. Demirors, while noting that there are more offering available out there, offered a tempered perspective, saying it's always helpful to zoom out and look at the bigger picture, noting that the institutional march into Bitcoin is still nascent. Can you imagine being back in the 90s? The march to internet and high-speed internet is still nascent. Talk about opportunity. Liking it to a trickle rather than a wave, as we're seeing the bridges being built in real time. Billionaires they're telling you what's going on. They're building the infrastructure. It's just a trickle coming in right now. but a wave, an ocean, a river of money is going to come flowing into this space. I just want to be standing there and say, wave, hit me right now. Let me just get in front of it. The $27 trillion figure, it's important to point out, represents a grand total of assets under management across the aforementioned institutions. And only a minuscule fragment of this gargantuan sum is anticipated to be channeled into crypto. God, you only need 5%. Just give me 5%. What about 2%? 2% of that. 10%? 15%? Notably, data has shown that institutional interest in crypto has been growing. The ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF BITO, a Bitcoin futures fund, has seen a dramatic uptick in capital inflows on June 26, seeing the most significant weekly inflow in a year at 65.3 million, pushing its assets above $1 billion. With a fee of 0.95%, the fund has gained 59.6% since 2023, according to ProShares. Interest in Bitcoin derivatives surged after BlackRock filed for its spot Bitcoin ETF on June 15th, with data showing Bitcoin futures open interest surged around 30% since then. It's crazy. Crazy. 4.5 trillion asset managers says Ethereum is undervalued. Hell yeah, that's why I got more Ethereum than Bitcoin. I'm getting frustrated, y'all. Because I know I got to do more. Back to this. For Powell, the true significance lies not in the immediate impact on market dynamics, but in the more profound message this move broadcasts to the financial behemoths across the globe. Drawing on his knowledge of the industry's players, he elaborated that BlackRock have been involved in crypto for a while now. Oh? Really? As its CEO, Larry Fink, talked about its last cycle. Now he says behemoths. Whoa. I got to do it. All right, we're going to stop screen here. Let's listen to what Larry Fink has to say.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. But right now, I can tell you it worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
BlackRock, the most powerful asset manager in the world with a $10 trillion portfolio, is investing in cryptocurrency.
This is not going to be an easy task. Capital is moving, and it's going to move very rapidly. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
Do not be fooled. Don't let Larry Fink's friends go on TV and convince you not to buy this time around, while Hillary and friends continue to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt about crypto into the minds of the general public. BlackRock has been forced to disclose that they're into it.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stock, no middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting.
And by the way, this isn't the first time he's said this. Larry Fink has been getting more and more vocal on this.
This is one of the reasons why I'm focusing on the whole idea of blockchain for securities. I look forward to the day when we could tokenize stocks and bonds, that every stock and every bond we could identify immediately who is the beneficial owner. And this is why we're working on it. And every beneficial owner, from an individual to an institution, have the ability to vote, to democratize every single vote. And that's where we want to take this, and we're leading that effort. Oh, I actually believe most of the companies are not going to be around. I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX. I mean, you could look back now. FTX created its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
It was not distributed. So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system.
Need I say more on that? Let's get back to this. So, drawing on his knowledge of the industry's players, he elaborated that BlackRock have been involved in crypto for a while now. It's CEO Larry Fink talked about his last cycle. Now he says behemoths like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are also moving forward and saying crypto is meaningful, even though they've been involved in the space already. Powell added that these firms are now making it clear they want to invest in the crypto space and allow their clients to do so as well, and will help build out the infrastructure to do so, he added. And what did Larry Fink say? We're leading the way. So if you want the largest applications layer possible, it's that whole finance industry. There's like $1 quadrillion of derivatives that can all go on chain. Can you imagine all the fees from every transaction? All the equities markets, everything can go on chain. So if you want a use case that dwarfs everything, it's the system of money and finance. Earlier this year, Powell offered an optimistic look on the trajectory of the crypto markets. He anticipated that the crypto sector would rally out of its current bearish state faster than it did in 2019, expecting considerable growth within the second half of the year. Now, I don't know about that. I'm still looking at, I don't care. I'm looking at what the halving happens next year. So I don't know about that. I got to save this article as well. Now, I don't have much time, but Roblox has been in the news for a couple of reasons, a couple of things. One, I saw this news this morning that I did not know about before. If you've got kids that are playing Roblox, check with them to make sure they're not messing around with, where is this? Let's see. There's something going around I'm going to ask my son about today. Oh, I'm not on Zoom, so you can't see this. Well, there's predators that are trying to create sexual games inside of Roblox called the Sus Cat. Ask your kids if they've ever heard what that is. And when you ask your kid that question, look at their face while they think of an answer. If they automatically don't come out and say, nah, I never heard of that, and they give us, yeah, check their account. All right. There's some sexual stuff going on in Roblox where you got these perverts targeting little kids, and they're luring them in like a what do you call it, a predator in an unmarked white van pulling up to an elementary school, asking kids if they want to pet a puppy or want some candy. That type of stuff's going on inside of the Roblox. But in this news as well, Roblox is letting game creators sell 3D virtual goods as it looks for ways to boost revenue. What? What are we doing with Aura? What are we talking about with Web 3.0? Web 2.0 does not allow them to do that. So they're looking for ways. How can we do that? Game creators. That means you. You are the content. Roblox users who are subscribers of the company's upper tier premium plans, which means they're paying for this, will be able to create and sell 3D goods along with the more conventional 2D assets that they were previously only allowed to sell on the platform's marketplace. Roblox developers will be able to use new coding tools later this year intended to help them create subscription-based services for their in-platform games and experiences. The company's revenue growth has slowed dramatically, fallen to 15% year over year in the latest quarter. Okay, I'm going to read this on Monday in our inner circle, because this goes hand in hand with what we're doing with Web 3.0 with Vara. All right, so let me pull this back over here. Stop share. All right, so that brings us to the end of our crypto talk for today. I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. Yeah, I'm buzzing right now. I believe I am not doing enough. I gotta do more. That's all I can say. I gotta do more. I gotta work harder, because we only have a short window of opportunity to take advantage of. What else I figured out in 2017 is that this is the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people right now. We are in the middle of it. It's one thing to miss out because you just didn't even know it was going on. It's another to miss out because you do know what's going on and you do nothing about it. And if you don't know what to do about it, that's why we have our community, ILCA. So that can give you the ideas so that you know what moves you can make that's best for yourself. So we invite you guys to be a part of our ILCA community. These crypto talks that I do on a daily basis, Monday through Thursday, $49 a month to be a part of our community to get this information. We find nuggets that is priceless. It's expensive not to be educated in this space. So with that, I'm going to go watch the Colorado game, and then I'm going to work. We have a big showcase on Vara happening next Friday, where they are going to be unveiling the first decentralized wallet on the Bitcoin blockchain layer 2 network using dark fusion technology. The first to market. And I'm proud that I am already heavily invested in it. So with that, I'll see you guys. I'm not doing nothing tonight. I'm doing a Vara presentation tomorrow night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If you don't know how to get access to that, get back to whoever invited you, and they will show you how to join us tomorrow night. With that, take care, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.